Hello, hello, hello. Today is a wonderful October day, and I am in such a good mood. I have had such a wonderful day. Oh my goodness. It's been so good. So because of that, I'm gonna tell y'all a very, I don't know, a very fun story. Because it's almost Halloween. That's why we got the Halloween mini games in the background. Very bad at all of them, but they're funny. I don't know. The ghost games are a little weird. The little Pac-Man looking one. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. But that's not what we're talking about today. Today, I'm gonna talk about the scariest thing of all. I gotta tell you how I realized I was bi. Was. Girl, I still am. Was. Next story ain't gonna be how I realized I wasn't. No. No, 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 no. I still am. Gay as hell. That's what I be. But, the story. Okay, I'm just gonna get right into it. Basically, 8th grade. Summer between 8th grade and 9th grade. And so I had the classic bisexual experience, which is forgetting that being bi is an option. Because during this time, I started developing a crush on a girl, which like, whoa, whoa, wild, wild concept, right? Absolutely weird. But yeah. I had known her for a while too. I had known her since like elementary, kind of, known of her. And then actually also knew her. She lived on the same street. She was so nice, so pretty. Look, speaking of bi, look at that guy's shirt. Look at him. Where is he? I swear to God, I chased him around earlier, didn't I? What? How fitting for this. I didn't plan that. I did not plan that. But, yeah. She was so nice, so lovely, and suddenly I was like, hey, I don't I don't think about girls like this. What's going on? What's going on here? And oh my goodness. It took me the entire summer to be like, I have a crush on her. And still longer yet to be like, that's okay. I'm fine. Because at first I was like, I can't be a lesbian. I can't be gay. I like guys. I always have. Little did I know, indecisiveness and choosing all of the options is my favorite thing to do. And so I chose, and I didn't choose, but I was discovered like, oh yeah, I'm just bi. Makes total sense. So much sense. Oh my goodness. Can't believe I didn't realize this originally. But I realized, oh, I'm just bi. Which took too much of my time. I'm rambling. Basically, I had liked the girl. And the longest time, I was like, oh, I like her. And like, I actually got to know her. Like, this is one of the few high school experiences where I actually know somebody. And where for a while it felt like, ooh, it's friends or something. Because like, she had lived on my street, you know. Oh, I don't know what I was gonna say as well. I was gonna say, like, the difference between, like, bi and pan and stuff. Because I feel like a lot of people don't understand that, like, being bi is not like, oh yeah, I'm 50% into guys and 50% into girls, or like, I'm 75% into girls, 20, like, no. And it's not even just like, oh yeah, it's a changing thing, like, no, not even that, like, not even that, that doesn't matter. Preferences change and such. That's alright. That's cool. It's more the fact of just like, for pan, And now I'm not pan myself, so you can feel free to have a different definition. It don't matter. It truly doesn't. But for pan, it's more like gender is just simply not a factor into who they like. Like, gender, not in the equation whatsoever. But for like bi, it is in the equation somewhere. It might be a minute thing. Like, you can still value, like, oh yeah, I love this personality trait, this personality trait. I love it if, like, all these things and or whatever. But, like, along the line, there's, like, for girls and guys, there's, like, the way I like girls is different from the way I like guys. Or just more feminine versus more masculine. The way I like the two are different. I still like them both. I still like them both equally, too. Almost equally. Pretty much equally. It's just different. You know what? That's okay. That's alright. Anyway, long rant about that over. Back to my depressing ass, shit, spoilers, it's depressing shit. Even though I'm in such a good mood today. One day you're gonna get to hear the story of that. But that's down the line. So when I'm older, when I'm an old little lady of probably like in a year or two. Maybe. Depends on how things go. Ooh, cliffhangers. But this girl, I had really liked her, and so for all of 9th grade, like, a little bit of background, I had, and still have, incredibly bad social anxiety, and just anxiety in general. Now, never diagnosed by anyone, this is just speculation, so like, hypothetically, I had insanely bad anxiety to the point where I was I was dry heaving in the bathroom, unbelievably nauseous every single morning of my life, and it felt like I was constantly going to throw up in the morning, and when I was around others, and when I was stressed, which was all of the time. So, I spent most of my 9th grade trying to be like, yo, let's not do that. And so, eventually 10th grade rolls around, and I'm finally like, yo, I'm feeling so much better now. Life, I have grabbed life by the horns, and I am in control now. Or more control than what I have been in. And it was amazing. It was great. And so now back to the girl I liked. Look, we rode the same bus, and so we'd sit next to each other, and like, I am not a touchy person, but if you know anything about little school buses, if you're American and you know anything about them little yellow ass funky school buses, there is not much room in those seats. Like, and there was 2 whole grown people, almost whole grown, not even, can you imagine 2 whole grown people there? Oh my god. Two of us in that one seat, and we got these giant oversized backpacks. Cause I didn't go, bro. I never stopped at my locker. From 10th grade onwards, never used it. I just had my backpack, that was that. And that's the way I liked it. My back didn't like it, it still don't like it. I'm still suffering the consequences of that, honestly. Y'all, exercise your bodies. Exercise your bodies. Please. Take it from me, an old woman. Exercise. But enough about that. I was sat next to her on the bus, and so I got the idea. Maybe I should tell her this. Maybe I should be like, cause like we was getting along, we'd talk and such, have a good time. But you know, it was only during then, cause like, she wasn't in any of my classes, like, I was in all like the advanced classes and such. Cause I did my homework, cause as I said, I'm an anxious as fuck son of a bitch, and not doing my homework might as well then, oh my god, if I don't do my homework, I will be killed. That's basically the vibe, the energy I have. So, and like, She could have been in all of the advanced classes if she fucking wanted to. She just did not want to. And honestly, I can understand that. It doesn't matter much. Go at your own pace. Just live your own life. Did I mention to you she was also one of the only girls on the football team? That's just my favorite random fun fact. It's like that one little one-off of just, oh yeah, she was on the football team. Just, oh. So, I think you can get the type of person she was in the current. And she was that. And she was amazing. So I got the idea. I made a shitty little meme because I cannot process emotions at all. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna tell her. I'm gonna show her. I'm gonna tell her. Like, I don't even know if she liked girls or not. I still don't know. So I can assume, no, she doesn't. Until I'm told otherwise. But until then, I have no idea. I just simply don't know. But I chickened out. I decided, you know what, I won't. And then you know what happened? A pandemic. And you know who I didn't see for a year and a half? Probably more. The girl I liked. I just didn't see her. I really hope I haven't said any names during this. I don't think I have, but I ain't listening to this again. And neither is anyone else, so I hope to God I never do that again. I just stuck my tongue out like the little Snapchat girl. Moving forward. I chickened out. I didn't say anything. And so eventually, junior year, can't remember much of junior year. Don't need to. It was bad. But I get to senior year. And now things are like, oh, things were like back to normal, quote unquote. Doing some air quotes here that y'all can't see. And things were different, man. Things were very, very different. The vibe entirely off. And at this point, my social anxiety had gotten the better of me again. I was no longer nauseous, but I could no longer speak. I could no longer talk in school. And that is an awful, awful feeling that I don't wish upon anybody. To not be able to speak during your day, at most saying a few words to anyone. But you know what? That's fine. That's okay. Because moving past that, throughout the year, pretty much nothing happened. But I still liked her an unbelievable amount. An unreasonably amount. And so, I decided one day in May of all months, well, actually more in April, because her birthday was in April, and so I go all out for birthdays. But I made a super nice card, and I had written, oh god, I wrote a poem. Okay, hear me out. I wrote the poem not because I like poetry or anything. We had a creative writing class together during the beginning of the year, and she had wrote poetry in it. I was like, oh, she might like poetry. She'll appreciate this potentially. And so I wrote poetry for her. But I encrypted it and I encoded it because I was like, I don't have the balls to do that. And so I gave her that, and she enjoyed the card, probably. I don't know. Maybe she fucking burned it a month later. Who knows? Who cares? That's in the past by now. Unless she's burning it right now or in the future. But again, I can't predict that, as we can tell by the fact that a fucking pandemic happened and I lost all of my chances that I ever once had, which were slim to none already, but went down to none afterwards. And so, yeah. So, after that, I was like, I thought I was done, and I was like, oh, my peace, my contentedness. I can live happily now. I was wrong. It was still eating away at me, and so I was like, I'm gonna have to write a letter. And so I wrote a letter. I wrote a whole ass letter. And then, oh my god, it had the poem. It had, oh my god. Oh, oh, oh. I gotta take a breather here. Okay, I breathed. I'm good now. I'm good. I gave her the letter one day. And it was the last day, because we both had early release. So that means I always went home early. And she would go to, we had at my school a nice little senior lounge, and she'd go hang there with some of her friends. And every once in a while, I would have to take home the regular bus home, because I didn't have anyone to drive me home. And so one day I decided, and this was the last time, or I think the last time, that I had to take the bus home. One of the last times. And it was the last time I ever took the bus home with her. Which, wow, the luck I had there. And I was sick as hell this week. It was the first week of May. It was a Friday. I was sick as hell. The only reason I went to school that day was to hand her this letter. I also had a math test. Didn't give a shit about it. Didn't care one single bit. But as we're walking home, and as she's getting ready to turn off and go a separate way, I grabbed from my purse, because I always carry a purse around with me. I pulled out the letter, which I had folded up nicely, and I have it, and I very sickly just smack her once or twice, hand her the letter, and walk off. And oh my god, I was ready for the worst. I was ready for doomsday, for Armageddon, and nothing happened. I went on a trip to Nashville, my senior trip to Nashville with my orchestra, of which she was not a part of, obviously. I went there. Afterwards, still nothing. Still nothing. June comes. Nothing. And so, school lets out. School is over with. Nothing still. I mean, actually no. We had spoke once. There was, one of the teachers hosted a small, weird carnival thing where if you had a free period you could go out and do something. And there was can jam, which if you don't know, you just throw a frisbee at a little barrel and you try to get it in. Very hard, very bad. That's what I did for my 42 minutes. And at one point she had stopped by with a group of her friends. And it was so painful, yeah. It was not a fun experience. And so then finally, prom rolls around. The day after, the night before my physics exam. Just regular Regents physics exam. And I brought my best friend with me because I've known her for so long. So I brought her with. And this girl, the girl I liked, she had come up to me and said my dress was pretty. And that was it. That was it for the night. I told her, oh, you look pretty too. Because she had worn a suit there, obviously. What do I expect? Nothing left. And then, graduation. 2 days later. As I'm leaving, I hadn't spoken to anybody. I was one of 2 people to paint their cap. And so oh boy. As I'm going to cross the street to get to the parking lot, I see her standing there with her friend. And the last interaction I ever had was she put her hand up for a high five. I put mine up. We high-fived. And that was that. Just a nice, smooth ending. It's... oh boy. It was not very smooth. But it was... it's an ending. I don't know how to describe it. Besides the fact that it was an ending. A stressful one. And that's all I have to say.